I got asked recently how to make custom color palettes in R. We have a blog post detailing how we do this, but it's fairly complex, and so I wanted to show a simpler way of making custom color palettes that you can use to make your plots with ggplot. The first thing I'm going to do is load the tidyverse. Next, I'm just going to define some colors. I've copied these in from a brand guide for the organization called Gang Alternative. So I've given everything a prefix of GA. Next, I'm going to make a qualitative color scale. To do this, I will create a function called scaleColorGAQualitative. And then within that, I'm going to define it as scaleColorManual, and I'm setting the values to be GA blue, then GA pink, then GA yellow, etc. If I run this, I now have access to this function, which I can add at the bottom here of my code. Now let me just show you, I can make this plot up to that point, and you can see it uses the default colors. Now that I've added scaleColorGAQualitative, it's going to use the colors that I gave it for this organization. Next, I'm going to create a sequential color palette. And I'll do this creating a function called scaleFillGASequential. I'm using fill here, but it's the same as doing it for color. So here, I've given my function two arguments. Low color equals GA yellow, and high color equals GA purple. Then I use those colors in the function where I'm using scaleFillGradient, where I can set a low color and a high color. I can now run this. I've gotten some data on presidential returns in the state of North Carolina in 2020, and I'm showing it where counties have higher total votes. So you can see, I don't know North Carolina, so I don't know that county in the middle, but it looks like they had a lot of votes. Now, if I add my scaleFillGASequential, you'll see that it's now using our brand colors. In the previous example, I just used the default colors. So yellow was the low and purple was the high. But I can change this. So for example, if I wanted to say low color equals GA purple, I could do that. And then high color equals GA yellow. And you can see we've got it reversed. And you can add any colors you want. The last thing I'm going to do is make a diverging palette. So I've created a function called scaleFillGADiverging. And you can see here, I've got both a low color, a medium color, so where our midpoint will be, and a high color. I've set the low color as GA yellow, medium color is white, and the high color is GA pink by default. Okay, let me now create this plot. I'm not going to apply my palette quite yet. And you'll see that it's got a lighter blue where there is, I don't actually know if that's more Democrats or more Republicans. In one direction, it's lighter. In the other direction, it's darker. But now I can apply my scaleFillGADiverging. And you can see we've got yellow for the low and pink for the high. So that's how you can make these palettes. There are all sorts of more complex things you can do, but hopefully this is a nice simple way to help you make your own palettes.